Where'd you con this off?
Phil gave it to me.
Phil, baby, eh? Oh, that's why she wanted to keep it to herself.
Nice, isn't he, Bobbie?
He's all right.
I reckon you two will be fighting over him soon. Don't blame me, though. He's a spunk.
I'm not interested.
Really?
Well, why would I be? I mean, we're crims. No one from the outside would want to mix with us.
Yeah, it's not fair, though, is it?
I bet I could get him if I wanted to.
You're wasting your time. He's probably got some uni cut, you know, big brain, small boobs, eat sunflower seeds.
Oh, let's stroke out then.
Still reckon I could get him.
You're not giving up.
We're just going for a break.
Oh, good for you. They're doing well, aren't they? 19 and a half hours and we're still getting enormous coverage. Do you hear that, ladies? The public are behind you every step of the way.
I've been speaking to the Governor of Blackmore. She sent me a statement from Myra Winter, which claims that you were in league with her in a drug smuggling racket while she was here, and also that you helped her escape.
From the evidence brought before the court this day, it's my decision that Shane Munro should not be returned to his father. However, Miss Ferguson, although I commend you highly for the care you've given Shane, I must tell you that I feel it's in the boy's best interest that he be made a ward of the state until suitable foster parents can be found.
Heather, I must know the truth. Did you help Winter escape?
Of course I didn't. Can't you see that Winter's just saying that because she...
Well...
All right. I did bring some drugs in for her, but...
Why? How could you have been so stupid?
Well, I was terrified. I thought they'd do something to Mark, my brother. She said her friends would fix a little accident. Oh, at first I didn't believe it, because Mark's a smart kid. He knows how to look after himself, but... Well, then when he was knocked off his bike, what else could I do?
You should have come to me.
I know, but I panicked. Well, I knew they'd try it again, but... Oh, I must have been mad.
All right, let's deal with what we've got. What you've done was wrong, very wrong. Now, perhaps I can understand, but I don't think the department will be so sympathetic.
Well, they do.
It's certainly serious enough for them to bring charges. And especially if they think you helped Winter escape.
But, Mrs. Reynolds, I didn't do
All
that.
right, I believe you. What you have to do is convince head office. Now, they won't see my report until Monday, so I suggest in the meantime you get all your facts straight.
But it was so long ago. They'll want to know all the details, won't they?
I'm afraid so. There's one thing that still worries me. Why did Winter take so long to get around to making her accusation? Be honest with me. Is there anyone else who might have it in for you? Someone who could use Winter to get back at you?
Well, you wouldn't have to look very far in this place, would you?
Come on, Joan. We have to put on a brave front for the boy. He's a scrappy little lad, but I think he's going to need our help more than ever after this.
It's just not right, Father. We could have given him everything, if only...
Yes, I know, but it didn't happen that way. So we have to deal with the situation in hand. We still can help him, you know.
How? They're going to put him in a home, an institution. How can we help him in a place like that?
We have to, because now he's going to need someone more than ever. I can't pretend to know what it'll be like in a boy's home, but I'm sure he's going to need someone to visit him, to talk to him.
Someone to love him? And who's going to do that, Father? Staff in a boys' home, they're paid a wage and love doesn't clock off at 5.
Come on, Joan. You don't want him to see you like this.
I've got permission to bring him out. Are you all right?
Yes, we'll be fine. What about the boy?
Trying very hard to be grown up. He's a tough little bloke, isn't he? Joan, believe me, I am very sorry. I can assure you...
Jeffrey, no one's blaming you. But what happens now?
A social worker will be around to collect his things. He said he left a few of his belongings at your place, so...
Auntie Jane? You said I have to wait out here, but I want to talk to you. Can I come out now?
May as well, young fellow. Come on. Now, just between you and me, your Auntie Joan's a bit upset, so be careful what you say.
Don't worry, mate. Leave it to me.
Oh, g'day, mate. It's a bit of a mess back in there, wasn't it?
Yeah, not to worry. I'll be all right.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. But I'll come and visit you every weekend just to make sure you're behaving yourself.
Yeah? Where?
if you want me to.
Yeah, because I'm gonna miss you.
Well, you're happy now, Ferguson. You've made me lose my son. That's what you wanted, isn't it?
See you later, mate. You go with Mr. Johnson.
Shane?
Don't ignore me.
Behave yourself, Munro.
Who the hell do you think you are, you silly old
He's the
bait?
top man in the
Shut
army.
up, you little mongrel. I'm still your father.
Come on, Shane.
Go away, Munro. Now, I didn't like what happened in there today.
Oh, is that a...
But at least Shane is rid of you. Now maybe he'll have a chance.
Yeah. I'm real broken up, too. You can tell, can't you?
Go away, Munro. For your own sake, go away.
Come on, you lot. The eyes of the world are on Wentworth. 24 hours down, only another 48 to go. Come on, let's give them a great big hand. Get out. You two should keep your strength up. I reckon you deserve champagne myself.
Thanks, Doc. Cheese and bloody gherkin again, jeez. You all right?
Yeah, I'm just getting my breath back. How about you?
Buggered, my arms feel like they're going to drop off. Oh, g'day, Mr. C. Save the next dance for you.
Oh, thanks, Alice, but I've just come to say goodbye.
Oh.
Well, I'll be leaving Wentworth in half an hour.
I was hoping you'd stick around and pick me up off the floor. Still, we'll be sorry to see you go, won't we, girls?
Yeah.
You'll be back, though.
Well, that's up to the powers that be.
Leaving this vale of tears. You're lucky.
Take care of yourself, Mr. C. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Yeah, it was nice meeting you, Mr. Cruikshank.
Always the way, isn't it? We get a good screw and the department keeps him away from us.
I bet you say that to all the fellas.
No, Miss, honest.
Oh, thanks, Bobbie.
You could have been real nasty with me like them other mums.
Oh, come on. Forgive and forget, eh? We're friends now. If there's anything you'd like me to do for you on the outside...
Well, seeing as we're mates, do you mind going to see Cass for me sometime?
Well, that could be a bit of a problem.
Yeah, I know. I just hate thinking of her in that place with all them loonies. You know. You just tell me how she's getting along, how they're treating her. No one else is going to tell me, are they?
No, I suppose not. All right, Bobbie, I'll see what I can do.
Thanks, I knew you'd be a sport.
OK, ladies. Break that record for me, won't you?
We will.
I'll be thinking of you. Cheerio.
Bye. Good luck.
Take care. Bye.
He's a nice bloke, isn't he?
Not bad for a pun.
Just behave yourself, silly looking thing. Don't go scratching fleas all over Auntie Joan's carpet. You look after him, won't you, Auntie Joan? For me? I know he eats a lot, but I'll get some dough to you as soon as I can.
Well, I've got a much better idea. It's up to you, of course, but... Well, I kind of reckon that Nicky is a real man's dog. Now, I'm going to be at work all day, so, what do you reckon, Major?
Well, you could be right. But,
I think that Nicky would be much better off with you at Forbes. Now, when Shane gets settled in a new home, maybe his new mum and dad won't mind him having a dog. Well, I think it's a much better idea, don't you?
It's Ace idea. It's no trouble, Mage. Honest. What do you reckon?
A splendid idea, my boy. Plenty of fresh country air, rabbits to chase. You'd be as happy as Larry.
Terrific. Will you teach him some army tricks so I can take him with me when I go into the army?
You've made up your mind, have you? About the army, I mean.
Hell yeah. I'm going to be just like you. You don't mind, do you?
Young man, I couldn't be happier.
We'll really have to be getting along now, Miss Ferguson. Say goodbye, Shane.
Joan, did you hear that? He wants to be just like me. Just like me. gathered from what you were saying to young Shane that you decided to stay on at Wentworth.
Under the circumstances, I think it's best. Just couldn't go away now.
Of course not. But if he does find a foster home, I'd just like to let you know that should you change your mind, my offer still stands.
Thanks, I appreciate that. I'm sure you can understand how I feel. I just couldn't go up there now without Shane after all the plans we made.
I know. It's a damn shame for all of us.
I mean, it'd be like having Nicky around all the time, reminding me. Must think I'm pretty weak.
Of course not. It'll probably be best if you knuckle down to some work. It can be a consolation sometimes.
Yeah, job's all I've got now. Unless you'd consider staying on with me.
Oh, it's a nice thought, Joan, but I think I'd find time hanging pretty heavily in my hands with you away at work all the time.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yes, you've got your work at the prison, and I've got my friends at Forbes. Pretty important for an old warhorse like me.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just that I enjoy having you around so much. I sometimes forget you've got a life of your own to lead.
Not to mention a doctor who'll court-martial me when I get back. I should have seen him 3 days ago. I think I'll start packing when I get home.
But you're all right, aren't you?
Of course I am. Now, don't you worry.
Look, you just promise me you'll look after yourself, all
Look,
right?
you'll be seeing me again, I promise. And you know you can rely on me.
Yes,
All
I
we
know.
can do is try to carry on. Young Shane did, right?
Dude, here you are. Look, we've got to take over from Myra and Angel.
Oh, hang on a minute, love. This letter was just handed in at reception.
Who's it from?
It's from little Debbie Peters. Remember her? She was the one that was frightened of the freak. Have a look at it.
Mrs. Taylor is bringing us to see the end of the dancing. And I'm saying a prayer for you all. Never had anyone say a prayer for me before.
I'm going to get a real buzz out of knowing those kids are there, you know that?
Can't you just see them going crazy? 80 grand. Geez, if anyone had given me 80 grand when I was a kid. Judy, you all right?
Yeah, I just felt a bit dizzy, that's all.
Hey, it's not your pacemaker gizmo
come
playing
on.
up, is it?
Anybody can feel dizzy after a bit of exercise. It's nothing.
Yeah, but it never happens to anybody. It always happens to you.
Well, then it's my bad luck, isn't it?
Well, maybe you should see the doc. He's coming to see us later
Come
and you
off
can just
it
tell
now.
him.
Look, we got a lot of money we're going to earn for those deaf kids. You say anything about this and we could blow the whole thing.
Oh, yeah, but what about your...
Bobbie! Drop it, okay?
All I know is she came straight in and locked herself in the bedroom. Now, what's going on, Dennis? I know you've got something to do with it.
Well, yes, maybe I have, but, well, you know what Heather's like. She takes every little thing to heart.
It may be a little thing to you, but when a young man behaved that way in my day...
What?
Having a girl staying overnight in his room.
Oh, mercy, Rogers, I don't think it's anything to do with that.
Well, at least he had the decency to make an honest woman of her.
Well, look, I'd love to, and maybe I will. It'll be right champion, but...
No maybes about it. A gentleman would at least get engaged.
Look, honestly, I don't think it's anything to do with that.
Oh, Dennis, I'm the girl's mother. I know how she thinks. Oh, I don't know what you young people imagine marriage is all about these days. But let me tell you, it had more to it.
Just leave him alone. It's got nothing to do with Dennis.
Well, how am I supposed to know? Nobody tells me anything.
I'm going to lose my job, if you must know.
Stop eating our sandwiches, you bloody pig.
They're not yours. They're Myra's and Angel's, and they didn't want them.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't be eating them anyway, should you? You got an ulcer.
Bugging me out, so I'm hungry.
I don't like the missing meals. Did the doctor see them?
Oh, I think they're just too tired to eat. Yeah, I didn't like the way the doctor looked at Judy.
I'm not surprised. In fact, they all look as though they're ready for the script.
Stupid bitch!
Oh, my ankle! Oh, twisted my ankle. Sorry, I was just resting. Get Myra! Get Angel!
No, I won't allow that. They're resting.
But we'll break the rules. We'll be stuffed if you don't get them.
Well, there's a rule that allows for a substitute.
Good on you, Doc.
Remember, you dance with that one.
What are you doing?
Oh, my God.
Shut up and keep dancing.
I'll lead.
Okay, love. I know winter was a nasty piece of work, but surely you must have realised getting involved
I
with...
knew I was putting my head in a noose bringing the drugs here, but what else could I do?
I don't know. I wish you'd come to me, though. I'm pretty sure Ferguson's behind it.
I didn't even realise. God, if she'd been there today, I'd have smashed her face in.
I know, but hey, let's try and be rational. Why don't you go to the governor? I mean, it's not the first time an officer's family have been threatened.
It's a bit late for good advice now, isn't it?
Oh, well. Hey, maybe it's an ill wind. At least if we're both on suspension, we'll get some time together. Eh? Chance to be sure.
I'm leaving work with a black mark against my name. And all you can do is sit there talking about us.
Look, I don't believe you. Could you try, for just once in your life, forgetting about your blasted job?
I've tried to explain to you.
God, my God, your mother's right. If you go on being obsessed with your career, do you know who you'll end up like? Joan bloody Ferguson. Yeah, coming home to her pot plants and her dog.
Well, it's better than ending up like Mum.
Don't be scared to grow up and face a real relationship. You know, wake up to yourself. You're not a kid. When you've made up your mind, let me know.
Good God, aren't you dressed yet?
Oh, Mum. Some people can lie in on a Saturday.
Well, if you hadn't spent half the night arguing with Dennis. He's right, you know. A man doesn't like a woman who puts her job ahead of him.
Can't wait to tie me to the kitchen sink, can you?
That's all you young women think marriage is, don't you? Men like your father don't grow on trees. And yet here you are, passing up Dennis.
Mum, I just don't want to get married yet, okay? Maybe when I'm older.
Oh, I suppose you imagine Mr. Wright will gallop up just like that when you're good and ready. Well, life doesn't work that way. Time and tide wait for no man, so they say.
Yeah, you've told me 100 times already.
You're going to lose him. At least I've got my kids and my wonderful grandchildren to be proud of in my old age. But at the rate you're going, you'll have nothing except your prison uniform. Maybe not even that.
Just lay off, will you? It's not as if I'm going into a convent or anything. I just want a career. So lay off.
You all right, Jude? Yeah. I'm carrying too much weight, I think.
You look dot weird. She must be on something.
I wish I was on something. Bloody roller skates for a start.
I thought you said you were all
Will you
right.
shut up, please? Can we just dance? Just shut up.
You get off, Dot. It's our turn.
Yes, please, I feel I'm going to faint.
Oh, you'll be all right, a young thing like you.
Come on, Dot, you're messing up the schedules. Get off.
Well, here it is. Phelan to Wentworth. You've got to admire their staying power.
I don't know, Angel looks like she's on her last leg.
Heavens, they should have taken a break ages ago. Come on, Dot, get off the floor, will you?
No worries, Mrs. Morris. I still got plenty stamina
Oh, rubbish,
left.
rubbish. Marlene and Myra are ready to go on, aren't you?
Yes, we are. Get off.
Oh, I'm as fit as a daisy.
All right, but you ought to consider Angel.
You don't know how grateful I am, Mrs.
Oh, put me down. I'll be all right. Oh, she'll be all right.
Will you be able to see me today, Mr. Cleary?
Just hold a sec.
Listen, I'll organise another counselling session with Mr. Cleary, okay?
Thanks, Mrs. Morris. That should be
Oh,
wonderful.
girl, me, you young whippersnapper.
I want a word with you.
Really, Miss Rodgers?
You set me up, Ferguson. You and your friend Cynthia got Winter to make those accusations against me, didn't you?
Cynthia?
Don't come that with me. 'Cause I took the phone call, remember? And it didn't take me long to find out there was a certain Cynthia at Blackmore.
Ah, yes. An old friend from Queensland. Very efficient, Cynthia.
Oh, yeah, and of course you'll deny that either of you fixed up anything with Winter.
Why should I? Wake up to yourself, Rodgers. You're finished. And I'm the one who finished you. Still, if you've learned something from it, it hasn't been a complete loss, has it?
Learn? What?
Firstly, if you're going to deal with scum like Winter, you have to cover your tracks. And secondly, If you're going to stab a fellow officer in the back, you make damn sure the knife sticks.
You've got a bloody nerve to stand there and say that to me.
Why not? I've got nothing to lose. Experience, Rodgers, that's what counts around here. Just you think, if you hadn't been so careless, might be me leaving Wentworth and not you. Pity, really. But that's life. Can't win 'em all, can you?
It's so lonely being an only child. I suppose you've got lots of brothers and sisters.
Just an elder sister who gave me hell. Say, whose counseling station is this? You're asking me more questions than I'm asking you.
Sorry. Well, you see, when I was a little girl, I only had my imaginary playmates to talk to. All my life I've been looking for someone who I can trust, I suppose. Someone who'd take me to their heart. Like you, Phil. You don't mind me calling you that, do you?
Why not? That's my name. Now, why did you get involved with this boy?
Well, I honestly thought I could trust him. Like you, but you're much nicer. I know I could trust you with anything. You understand, don't you? You know, some nights I lie awake and pretend that there's someone there who I can reach out to. All warm and nice. Funny if there was.
A bit difficult around here, Angel.
Well, they say anything's possible, don't they?
That's one way of looking at it, but, look, time's up for today, and you'd better spend the rest of your break getting some sleep before you're due back on the floor.
I think I'll call it a day, Neg. Oh, I'll be back later after I've had a rest and changed into something fresh.
You're not worried about being alone?
No, not really. Haven't been any more threatening letters. No, is there anything I have to tell you before? Oh, yes. Heather asked me about a call she took for Joan, someone called Cynthia. Isn't there a senior at Blackmore called
Yes, Cynthia Druin. She used to work with Joan in Queensland. I thought you knew.
No. No, I didn't. Is it just my nasty mind, or is there something fishy going on?
Well, I think it's quite obvious someone's framing Heather, but the trouble is proving it.
Do you think we ought to try and talk her into resigning? Not less heartache for her in the long run.
Yes, it might be. But if it was my name being dragged through the mud, I certainly wouldn't resign. Would you?
No. No, I don't suppose I would.
Need a bit of a hand there, Governor.
Oh, yes, if you could. Not the first time it's happened. Chap at the garage said something about the distributor. Do you think it could be that?
No, that's okay. Battery terminal's a bit loose. Oh, look at this brake fluid line. It's not connected.
You think it could have worked loose?
No way. It's been cut. It's a good thing it wouldn't start, Mrs. Reynolds. Could have had a nasty accident. A very nasty accident.
You, feeling better? Well, we've checked visitors, and everyone who delivered anything into the grounds, they've all been cleared.
So we're no closer to knowing.
And whatever it was, he had plenty of nerve. My men checked that car park dozens of times on their rounds. Took one hell of a risk.
Would it take long to cut that tube?
Just a second. You were very lucky. I wouldn't have fancied your chances if you'd got out on that highway.
Inspector, I have enough trouble driving with brakes.
Yeah, well, as long as you're okay. But don't leave the prison without letting me know. Now, no one else you've thought of as a possible suspect?
Apart from that list I gave you, no.
Well, I've had men checking that out. Somerton's relatives seem okay. They're checking out Cass Parker's family now.
I'll let you know if I think of anyone else. Oh, and thank you for the bodyguard. She's gone to my flat to collect some things.
Yeah, well, if you've got to leave the prison at any time before we get a definite lead, that officer will be right alongside you. And the 24-hour guard will continue here, of course.
It's a relief. Strangely enough, there is another weight off my mind. It's clear that the women here aren't in any danger. That maniac's after me. No one else.
You'll feel better now you're back in your own dorm?
Yeah, terrific.
You don't have to go on the work roster until you're stronger, okay?
How about some peace and quiet? You know, alone?
Was it Ferguson? Like you said? I reported exactly what you told me.
That's a good girl.
Listen, Kean, you're here for a long time and Ferguson's gunning for you. And now she's got me in her sights. So I reckon that gives us something in common.
I've got nothing in common with Screws.
Winter's escape needed a lot of coordination. I'd say an officer helped her, wouldn't you? Come on, Reb, tell me the truth. I can do something about it.
Oh, yeah. And you can walk out those gates if things foul up.
I don't walk out on anything. Even if she knows you lagged on her, she can't do anything once she's sacked. And you're not safe until she goes because you're the only one who knows what really happened.
It's not an even money fight. She'd have you for breakfast. Oh, I'll get rid of Ferguson. But I'll do it in my way and in my time. Now, do you mind? I've got things to do.
You'll love it, Meg, I promise. They make their own pasta and it's fantastic.
But in that suburb, I mean, it's full of dropouts and uni students, isn't it?
Look, who cares? The food is worth it. Your place at 7?
Oh, well, all right. But you better make it 7:30. I'm running late with everything today.
7:30 it is.
I take it this place isn't formal.
You're joking.
I thought so. I'll see you later.
Okay. Did you want to see me, Angel?
Sorry, Phil. I wasn't spying or anything, but I couldn't help hearing.
So, how's the waltzing coming?
Are you really taking Mrs. Morris out? I know she's older than you, but wouldn't that be lovely? We'll all be thrilled.
Look, it might be an idea if you didn't spread it around. And no secrets or anything, it's just that, well, you know. Hey, see you after Marathon Inns, eh?
Even smashing crockery sounds better than that waltz chop.
I reckon it stinks. Why'd they have to take over the rec room? What are we supposed to do?
Don't worry. 3 days of that music, and they'll be as deaf as the brats they're trying to help.
Rebecca!
Get something, Fred, and watch it all.
Rebecca, what are you doing up there? Should have kept you in bed.
Well, back on your feet, eh, Kean? I thought for a while there that Wentworth had one less troublemaker. Still as sociable as ever, I see. Takes a lot to soften you up, doesn't it, Kean? Better watch your health, though. A person in your delicate condition could find herself on the critical list if she upsets the wrong people.
Is that a threat? Are you threatening my daughter?
You will address me as Miss Ferguson, is that clear?
I know our rights, Miss Ferguson, and if anything happens to Rebecca, I'll go straight to the governor. To the minister, if necessary.
Well, well. So Kean Senior's got a bit of a spark in her too, eh? You've got a lot to learn about Wentworth, Mrs. Kean.
An officer's duty includes protecting the prisoners.
Oh, I agree. But you see, your daughter is rubbish. And rubbish doesn't deserve protection.
You stay out of my way. I'm warning you. Look after yourself, if you can. But you keep out of my life. As far as I'm concerned, you don't exist.
A bit more style, Jude. You're forgetting I told you about style.
Oh, it's all right for you, isn't it? You've just had a break.
Come on, Rabbit. A few more push-ups will get you back in shape.
I'm not sure they'll make it.
Of course they will. It's always a bit of a sag at this time of night. Everybody feels it. I agree with the governor. Doesn't look promising. Oh, nonsense. We've got lots of spirit. They won't give up.
I'm worried about Judy and Dot. I think I'll have to stop them.
Stop them? After all the department's put into this, the money, the energy, the sponsors' efforts, you can't let that go down the drain. And what about the deaf children? What about them?
Yes, Miss Krantz, I understand that. Maybe if Jenkins hadn't sprained her ankle, they'd have made it.
You sure she didn't just quit? There's more than money involved here. It's a matter of pride.
I agree, but I can't just stand by and watch those women collapsing under our noses.
They'll hit you if you stop them now.
And if I don't and they end up in hospital, no, I'll have to stop.
Mrs. Reynolds, wait. Why don't you let them make the decision? Ladies, keep waltzing. Mrs. Reynolds has asked me to make an announcement. She thinks you're pushing yourselves too hard. She thinks you ought to give up.
No way.
No, we're in great shape, aren't we, girls?
I'm still going at my age.
I want to see it through to the end, Mrs. Reynolds. Jude and I'll make sure everyone's okay.
We will. We'll make sure.
Yes, all right, I won't insist, but please be sensible. And good luck.
never liked you being a prison officer anyway. Why don't you resign? There's plenty of better jobs round for someone with your capabilities.
Well, it's not my problem.
Oh, aye, we've a lot of catching up to do one way and another. But I meant what I said, love. You always wanted to start a family. Now's our chance.
Yeah, I want family, aye.
Then there's no problem, love. That's one of the reasons I came home.
Oh, is that right? Well, I didn't ask you to come back, and this isn't your home.
Oh, come on, Dennis. You were always talking about responsibilities and such. Well, here I am.
Look, Doris. Do you remember Heather? That girl that was here?
How could I forget? You threw me out.
I love her. And I want to marry her.
Oh, Dennis, you had a bit of a flutter while I was away. I understand.
Look, forget it, Doris. You know damn well what I'm saying.
Well, I tried to do it the nice way, but... Have you heard from home lately, Den?
No,
from
no.
the family?
Not for a couple of weeks. Why?
It's nearly broke my heart. Read it. Your mother's very sick, Den. I never knew she took it so hard, poor old soul. Of course, she wasn't well to begin with, was she? People just don't divorce in Barnsley, you know that. I'd say it's taken all the fight out of her. They don't know if she'll recover. Dan, we can't do this to her. It might kill her.
I had no idea she was that bad. I'll have to go home.
We'll go together. Let her see her son's doing the right thing.
Aye. The right thing.
Oh, clumsy me. It'll be all dirty now. Here, another Kean. Use this on your toothy pegs.
Don't waste it. She could have used it on her hair, couldn't she?
Yeah, we'll show her how. We was just joking, Rip. Just having a bit of fun. Go right ahead. She's nothing to me.
Has anybody seen Dot Farah?
She was here a minute ago.
Oh, for heaven's sake! Dot! Goodness me, come on! You should have relieved Bobbie over an hour ago.
1, 2...
Look at you.
No wonder that bloody dance went out of fashion.
Oh, so will you if you don't get dried up and fixed up. Now, come on, for heaven's sake.
Wow, you both arrived on time. Bit surprising, really.
Great night. Hey, was I right about the food?
Yeah, it was lovely. Coffee?
Ah, thanks. Well, when should we do it again?
I don't know, Philip. I felt a little bit out of place with your friends.
Well, who cares? We enjoyed ourselves, and hey, you can fill me in on all the stuff I need to know about Wentworth. In the meantime, we can both dodge cooking.
Morning, Philip. Morning, mate.
Mr. Reynolds?
Well, you're looking much happier. What's going on?
Well, Inspector Rouse just rang. They're questioning a suspect.
Thank God for that. Who is it?
Don't know yet. He's only about 20. They picked him up trying to break into my flat because he could be just a burglar.
Oh, that'd be too much of a coincidence.
Well, anyway, we're hoping he's the one responsible for everything. The letters and the brakes on my car. But God knows how he got in here.
When will you know?
Soon, I hope. Keep your fingers crossed.
Miss Ferguson, may I make a telephone call in my next break, please?
If you must.
Thank you, Miss Ferguson.
Go on, love. Only 7 hours to go.
Dot, where have you been? I'm busting.
Oh, come on, Dot. It's the home stretch. Let's go.
I don't dance with two-faced Judases.
Come on, Dot. Everybody needs breaks. She won't tell me what I'm supposed to have done.
Don't stack on a term. We've got to stick together.
Come on, look, Bobbie has to leave.
Stupid old cow, she called me. Angel told me she was that upset about it.
Oh, goodness. Was it me who upset you?
Not you, love.
Look, all right, I might have said that, Dot, but you know me, mouth to mouth. I wouldn't have meant anything by it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, look, she's apologised. Please get on the floor.
No.
Dot.
Forget it, you can work it out yourself.
Oh, bloody hell.
Rabbit, I had no idea dear I'd cause all this trouble.
Don't worry about it, okay?
Well, she was saying such mean things about you, about that guy you killed. But I know it was an accident. Well, I'd just been saying how much I liked you. And, well, she said you were just another murderer. But don't be upset.
The only thing that upsets me is that I apologise to the old witch.
Not too much, please.
Good God, get her, will you? Not too much, please.
She doesn't mean it. Give her heaps.
Pet food, is it? She loves that.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Your daughter wants to see you. Wants to kiss and make up, I suppose.
You wanted to see me?
Like a hole in the head. That's all. Your mum's starving, Red. Look at the surf she grabbed.
I'm not hungry. I hate it.
Oh, eat up.
Bolty.
It's prison food, lady. You brought us both back in here, now you eat it.
It tastes better than usual, anyway.
Yeah. Maybe it needs a little jazzing up. There, that's better. Come on now, Mummy. In wide. You've got a choice. You can eat it or wear it. The lot. I said eat the lot.
Where do you think you're going, Kean?
Hi.
Hey, what's all this?
Well, I thought we could go somewhere quiet and talk while we eat.
I phoned last night, but you were out.
Oh, yeah. I just drove around for hours, thinking. Let's face it, I had a lot to think about, right? Den, I'm sorry I was rotten too.
No, Heath, I was unreasonable. You were upset about your job. I do understand.
I, discovered something on that drive. And that the job rates nothing alongside you. Your passport.
Okay, something's cropped up.
What?
My mum's sick, very sick. I've got to go home.
Oh, Dan, I'm sorry. When did you hear?
Last night, Doris came round with a letter.
Doris is going with you back to England.
It's aye, but that doesn't mean we're getting together again. I'll be back as soon as my mother's better. She's rotten luck. I'll be back, Heath. I promise.
Of course you will.
What are you doing here, Adams? This is out of bounds.
Well, I'm sorry, Mrs. Morris.
Yes,
I
will you
didn't know.
remember that in future? Now, I'm going to take you to the visitors' room. There's somebody waiting to see you, but you better be quick. You're due back on the dance floor soon.
Well, I'll be as quick as I can.
Well, it's not going to be long now till the record's broken. I'm sure your visitor will understand.
But it's the check, especially blown up one. You can't break the seal. Sorry, sir, I've got to open it. Orders. That'll spoil the whole presentation.
Listen, how about letting us through? We're the press.
Wait your turn, Joe. Thank God, here's someone with sanity.
Mr. Montgomery. Bob, gentlemen, what seems to be the problem?
Well, our friend here is worried about my check. I feel like taking it back.
For God's sake, Bob, get us in.
These gentlemen are legitimate, officer. I can vouch for each and every one of them.
I've finished with them anyway, Miss Kratz.
Oh, good. Sorry about this, gentlemen, but you know what the police are like.
The place is crawling with them.
All that manhandling at the gate is not good for publicity. Can't you do something about it?
Wait till you see these women. It's a human interest story you are going to love.
Only 90 minutes to go, girls. Let's hear it for Dot. She saved the day.
Wish they'd let us doll ourselves up a bit for telly, you know, a bit of rouge and lipstick.
Probably looking a bit slack. I'll liven them up a bit. Get them to lift their fat feet.
Who's the bugger? And you could do with a bit of zip, bitches. Hey, what's going on? Oh, my God.
Jude, dance.
Keep dancing.
detention. I'm telling you, the stamina they got. Oh, no!
Come on, girls, keep dancing. Dot wouldn't want us to give up.
I think we'd better get her to a doctor.
Why the panic to see me?
I need a favour. Will you do it? It's something you'll enjoy.
Well, that depends what it is.
Well, just say yes, and we'll all be happy.
Why?
Because I've been a good friend. I know all about New Year's Eve, what happened when you left. I could have had the police on your doorstep for Sandra's rape. Then they would have tied that in with the others around morning.
Who are you bluffing?
Well, if you don't help me, you'll leave here in handcuffs. It's up to you, Peter.
What do you want me to do?
Your specialty, of course.
You mean you want me to rape someone?
One of the officers here, because she's in love with the man who fancies me. Just turn her off men for a while. You know how to do that. Her name's Meg Morris.
God, it's bedlam in here today. Do I need a coffee? Do you want one?
Yeah.
Hey, isn't this supposed to be your day off?
Yeah, but I knew things would be frantic in here. And let's face it, I need to look keen on the job the way things are. How are the dancers?
Well, poor old Dot's collapsed. We were very worried at first, but apparently it's only exhaustion. Good rest and she'll be fine.
Gee, she'll be upset about that. Where is she? I'll drop in on her.
In the hospital. Thought you'd be spending today with Dennis.
Oh, well, I've got that drug smuggling charge to clear up, and I need to know what I'm up against. This job's very important to me, you know.
Of course it is. I feel the same way as Mrs. Reynolds. She's very dubious about the evidence.
Yeah?
Frankly, I believe you've been framed.
It's Ferguson. But she's not going to get away with it. I can promise you this much. Maybe I won't get out of it. Maybe I'll be fired. But I'm certainly not going quietly.
Well, we hope you're not going at all.
Miss Ferguson's taught me a lot. And if I have to leave Wentworth, she's coming with me. Even if it means doing it her way.
Ladies and gentlemen, they've done it. A new world record for waltzing. Let's hear it for the dancers. What about Dot? Is she okay? I'd like to assure you that Dot Farah is fine, resting comfortably. In a half an hour, these ladies will have achieved their goal, a new world record. And the Deaf Institute will be richer by $80,000 for a sensor-evoked response audiometer, an essential piece of equipment that will allow these children to hear sound for the first time in their lives. Ladies, thank you.
Can't we stop dancing now? We're a few minutes past the record. We're about to keel over.
Yeah, can't we stop now?
Listen, the deal is 72 and a half hours. Is exactly what we're gonna do.
We can't make it.
It's $80,000 for
Come
those
on,
deaf
it's
kids.
the bell,
Come
lad.
on.
Come on, you're a lot of me.
How are you standing up for the babies?
Just meant
Well, we're nearly there.
Oh, I'm just glad it's nearly over. Had a few panicky moments with Dot Farah, though. Where's that social worker chappie?
Oh, he had to go.
Oh.
Mrs. Reynolds will be home in a few minutes. She's just
Krantz, could you draw attention on TV to the way our tracksuits have stood up? Look at that, not a crease.
Yes, I'll do the best I can, Mr. Montgomery.
Behind the high walls and locked gates of Wentworth Detention Centre, the countdown has begun. In less than half an hour, these four gutsy ladies will have completed 72 and a half hours of relentless, back-breaking dancing.
Hello? Hello, this is Anne Reynolds speaking.
You've been lucky once, Governor. It won't happen again.
Who is this?
It's my God-given task to stop the degradation you've forced on your victims with this ridiculous marathon.
Can we meet? Immediately, any place you choose.
Too late, Governor. Your time has come. It's too late to stop it.
What?
Regrettably, the innocent must die with you. Everybody in Wentworth Prison.
How? When?
While the world watches, so the world will see.
Just what are you talking about?
An explosion, Governor. A very big explosion. An eye for an eye. You for a loved one.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. but that was on the outside. And things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners too. When morning comes around, last night I dreamed